Hello, welcome to the channel, my very own pixel on the World Wide Web. Today we are playing Rollercoaster Tycoon Classic and the scenario Leafy Lake from the original game. This game is coded by Chris Sawyer and it was done almost entirely in assembly, and that was a deliberate choice because back in the late 1990s that allowed the game to be run on low-spec computers. And if you stay to the end of the video, I can develop why it was such an enormous challenge as well as a brilliant strategic decision. The beautiful pixel graphics were created by Simon Foster. Back in the late 1990s, 3D graphics were on the rise, but Sawyer chose this to-do isometric perspective, and it's not just a stylistic choice. It allowed for a high level of detail without the need for complex rendering, and it was one of the reasons the game has aged quite well and still looks good today. So this scenario is the third in the base game. We'll start to build something little here, a merry-go-round. You place down an entrance and an exit, of course, and may connect it to the path that goes around this lake here. What I like about this game is that it's so expressive. The guests that can't get in just yet, but I will soon open the park, they are expressive even if they are tiny. For example, see when they have gone on a ride that makes them nauseous, that they like go and look for a bench to sit down, and they really are so nauseous that they get up, move around a bit, and decide to go and sit down again. And they can eat popcorn and hold balloons and all that. So even if it doesn't look like something like Planet Coaster, it has its own charm with these retro style graphics, I think. Chris Sawyer put in quite a bit of effort in order to make this game. Not only did he code it, like I said earlier, in assembly, but he also went around Europe and the United States, taking meticulous notes and footage from actual theme parks to understand physics and like guest reactions. He specifically studied how real-world roller coasters were rated for excitement, intensity, and nausea, and built these mechanics directly into the game's code, making the ride design feel really authentic. Let's see. I cut off the paths there because this is quite a big park or a big area you're allowed to build in, so I don't want guests going around where there isn't anything to do. That makes no money for me. You want them to walk as little as possible if you can. You can, for example, build this thing here, a monorail, to take them from one part of the park to another part, and there's other things as well that you can use as transport, for example. Build this here. This is one of the rides which in real life I wouldn't go on because I am one of those that get nauseous really easy. I once tried a free fall in Stockholm here on the theme park called Kiruna Lund, and that is something I won't do again. How about you? Are you someone who can ride coasters and free fall and things like that? Coasters is fine for me actually, but those things that goes around their own axis too fast, like that thing there, Twister, I don't like that. Write in the comments, what's your experience with theme parks? Do you have any favorite type of ride, something like that? So I built something for them to eat. Ice cream is nutritious. maybe a toilet first. There, yeah. And you can actually charge for the toilets if you want to. By default it's turned off, but that's one of the many things you can do in this game in order to earn money. A favorite of mine is once you get the fries stand where you can sell fries, is to increase the level of salt in the fries, and then you can sell more soda. Just don't do it too much because they will not buy them. And something you can read in almost every guide in regards to this game is that you should always hike up prices for umbrellas when it starts to rain. It's a cutthroat competition, or what do you call it? No, that's not it. Something else. A way to earn money, at least. So I don't have all that many things to build at the moment, and I don't have that much money to build one of the bigger rides, so I just build these smaller things to begin with. Ferris wheel, that's my kind of ride. Slow. I really like that this is like in the forest. It reminds me of another Swedish theme park slash zoo called Kolmården, which is located a bit south of Stockholm, southwest, sorry. A place I recommend you to go to if you haven't been. Let's see. If you want to, you can also edit the colors on not only the paths, like the entrance paths or things like that. You can also edit the colors on the actual rides themselves, at least some of them. So we have guests' thoughts about the park. So this remastered classic version isn't just a port, really. It's actually crafted carefully by Sawyer himself. A remaster that includes the expansions Corkscrew Follies, Loopy Landscape, Wacky Worlds and Time Twister into a single unified experience. It is really the definite way to play this early title on modern systems or platforms. So here we have quite a big space. Maybe I can build some roller coaster thing there later. I'm not sure. You can, if you want to, you can go into like a sandbox mode and create your custom roller coasters and test them out before you build them in your live park, so to speak. That way you can save your template, something you like, and put it in your park once it's tested. Build some boats maybe. Here we have the coasters. There are a couple of pre-mades. If you click on the type of coaster you want to build. This one is quite big. See, you have a white fence around the park, which is the area I can build on. You have a goal for each scenario. I can't remember what this was. I think it was something like you have to have a 900 rating or something by the end of year 3. You have the year and the month in the lower right corner. So really don't want to have it too far from the rest of the attractions. So nothing thinking I will buy this one or build this one. And if you are like a perfectionist, once you have completed the win scenario or have managed to complete the scenario, then you can continue with your park for as long as you like, if you want to like make it perfect. Yeah, we'll do a few boats. So this is like base, the station platform. And then you choose how they can go with the boats. They're not allowed to just go out anywhere on the lake because they might not come back or drown or something. Safety first. So why was this game programmed in assembly? Well, at the time when high-level programming like C++ were becoming the standard for game development, where Sawyer chose to use this low-level language assembly, and it was a really big challenge, but there is a couple of reasons as to why he did it. So assembly language is a low-level programming language that is one step above raw machine code, really. So what does that mean? Well, it means that the code directly corresponds to the fundamental instructions of a computer central processing unit, or the CPU. This means that you have to manually manage memory, registers, and every single operation that the CPU performs. Like, for example, a compiler takes code from a high-level language like Python or C++, and translates it into machine code, but it doesn't always produce the best optimized results. So the primary reason Chris Sawyer used assembly was to achieve unparalleled performance. He wanted this game to run as smoothly as possible on the widest range of personal computers available in the late 1990s, many of which had limited processing power and RAM. So by coding in assembly, he could gain like ultimate control. He had complete and precise control of every single CPU cycle that was used. This allowed him to optimize every function, from how guests are simulated to how roller coasters are rendered, to be as efficient as possible. And you minimize overhead. High-level languages have a certain amount of overhead from the compiler and runtime libraries. Assembly code, being so close to the metal, has virtually no overhead. This meant the game could dedicate almost all of the computer's resources to the simulation itself, not to the underlying code that ran it. And it was good to handle complexity. Rollercoaster Tycoon needed to simulate thousands of guests, dozens of rides, complex queuing systems, and a real-time financial model, all on hardware that would be considered ancient by today's standards. The game's complexity demanded an exceptionally efficient codebase to prevent the frame rate from dropping to a crawl. But there was challenges, of course. The performance benefits were undeniable. Coding in assembly presented a massive hurdle for a single developer. It's an extreme difficulty. Assembly is incredibly difficult to write, read, and debug. A simple task that might take one line of code in C++ could require dozens of lines of cryptic, low-level commands in assembly. This made the development process much slower and more prone to errors. And another challenge was there was no portability. Assembly code is designed for a specific type of CPU, in this case the x86 family of processors. It is not portable, and that means that the game's code could not be easily adapted to run on a different platform, like for example a Mac or a console, without a complete and time-consuming rewrite. And it was a monumental effort. The scope of Rollercoaster Tycoon, with its numerous scenarios, detailed graphics, and complex simulation, would have been a massive project even for a team of developers using a modern language. For a single person to actually take the time to do this challenge using a language as unforgiving as assembly is a testament to Chris Sawyer's immense skill, dedication, and patience. So we jump ahead a bit. Here I have built a very basic pre-made roller coaster. Just to have something that's a bit more exciting for my guests. I really love how they scream when they go around it. It's good with a coaster that has two trains like this, because it's a good turnaround for the queuing guests. Sometimes the roller coaster have massive lines and people are waiting in line for a long time, so if the ride takes too long, people get bored in the queue. Not really sure. There is TVs that you can place along the queuing path. How much they affect the patients or the entertainment for the guests. I know from experience that just this coaster makes people vomit a lot, so placed a handyman here that can go and sweep the paths and get rid of the vomit, because that probably makes people even more sick if they already feel a bit nauseous and then see someone that has produced some thing on the ground. It wouldn't make me feel any better, really. And when you see the guests exiting, some of them walk like really slow. You can all see from high above that they are like green in the face. Here's the financial summary, as you can see. You can see what expenses and things like that you have. It goes quite a bit downward at the moment. I'm thinking I'm gonna lower funding here a bit on research to speed it up for a while. Dream! It's like ants. Another game that I have played on the channel here, Cement. You can go and check that out if you want to. So hopefully they will clean it up, the vomit up there on the exit path. There, my handyman came and took care of it. If you want to see me continue on this park, press that thumbs up, like, subscribe if you want to. That helps me a lot. I'm still struggling with my channel and trying to improve. So, thanks you all for joining me on this creative journey. If you have been inspired to dive back into the world of Rollercoaster Tycoon, let me know your favorite memories of the game in the comments below. And hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.